me introduce your host, Fino and Sasha, the legit king.
It's the start of the show, time to walk through the smoke. When I enter the ring, I jump over the ropes. I feel like Mysterio, I ain't no joke. Titles, I held them both, call me Chris Jericho. Time to cash in my money in the bank. Just like Sheamus when he beat Roman Reigns. Meet me in the cage, like Undertaker when he met Kane. I don't play games, I'm the Triple H. The crowd screaming, you rock like my name's Dwayne. The crowd screaming, you suck like your Kurt Angle. In the ring, I'm the boss just like Sasha Banks. So you'll get whipped like the intro from Sable. King of my stable, don't matter the label. Smackdown or Raw, you get put through a table. Pushed off a ladder or choked with a cable. Throw me a chair, I'ma give him a facial. It's the start of the show, time to walk through the smoke. When I enter the ring, I jump over the ropes.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the wrestling podcast known as Ring Champs. I am one of your hosts. It's your boy, Just Fino. And of course, I'm here with my co-host, the one and only Sasha, the legit king. Sasha, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people?
How you doing, Sasha?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm tired as fuck. Not gonna lie to you. Coming off of a long day at work. But you know,
You're here. That's what's important.
I'm here. Yeah, you know, it's just it's rough out there, but you know, you got to fight through. And I think one of the best things is that, you know, when you have, I guess, something to look forward to, it kind of gives you some energy when you got none. And
That's true.
I kind of have some, so I'm ready. But I got a question for you.
Yes. What?
Do you believe?
Do I believe in, or do I just believe in general? Like what? What do I believe?
Do you believe in Joe?
Okay. Wait. What is that? Because I keep seeing that, and I don't know what the hell that is. Is this the Joe Hendry? What is that?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Okay, so I saw that on Twitter/X, and I thought it was like an ad at first. I was like, "Who the hell is Joe Hendry?" And I just kept scrolling, and then like every so often I would see, and I'm just like, "Okay," I didn't know what the hell. I still don't know what it is.
That's my ringtone.
Help me. What is that?
It's so Joe Hendry. He's in TNA. That is.
Okay.
He's a wrestler, and that's his thing. I don't really. So I haven't got the full like rundown of his character, but it's just a great. Like I've seen little things.
I thought it was a politician or something. I was like, "Who the hell is
He's
this
in a
guy?"
feud with AJ Francis.
Top Dollar, is that who it is?
Top Dollar, yeah.
Okay.
He's been in a feud with him for months, and like they did some skits. It's just hilarious. Like you say his name, and then he just appears. Like he just appears out of nowhere,
Freak, basically.
Like, but he's like cool as hell. It's so funny. Like it's one of those dumb things in wrestling, but it gets over. Like. So it's awesome. It's probably one of the. It reminds me of like R-Truth, how he like it's just a dumb shit he does, but it just works. It's the same thing with it. It's pretty damn awesome, and that his theme song is just so catchy. So it just everything in combination creates just a great character, great gimmick. So yeah, I would definitely advise you to check out all that stuff.
I guess I'm gonna have to, because the algorithm was trying to point me in that direction, and I was confused. So okay.
Like I said, it's my ringtone. Like, and
It's
then
a picture of him I see. Like, there's no other context. It's just like I thought it was an ad, like he was a politician or something, and I was like, So I guess now I'm gonna have to check it out.
And then, like, if you call me, I don't answer until I do the clap. So, like, I'll let it play. So they say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And then I'll answer the phone. Like, I clap. I actually clap. Like,
oh my! I absolutely believe that you do. I don't believe it.
Yo, one of my friends was looking at me. He was like, "What the fuck you doing?"
As would I would do that too.
And then he was like, "Wait, Joe Hendry," because he's a wrestling fan too. He didn't hear the song playing, but he saw me clap and came up. He was like, "Joe Hendry, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah."
What a time to be alive.
Oh man, nah, that just made my day. That I had to make it the ringtone.
I'm almost afraid to look at it because then I might enjoy and then I might be clapping. So I don't know.
No, it's one of those things. I think like if it was in WWE, it would be like one of the most over things in the world right now.
Probably.
I'd be honest with you. Like it's a WWE gimmick. I feel like it would be awesome over there. It just like I don't know. I don't know the whole history of it and his gimmick and all that, but it just brings me joy. So I think people like R-Truth, I think of Santino. I think of those people that like it's like in that realm for me.
It sounds ridiculous, but
I'm
curious, but I don't know. I have to. You know.
And they did this promo. Literally, it was like this little. I don't know if it was a backstage segment or something, where like he just said his name, and like he just popped up, and AJ was like, "Don't say his name." And he popped up. That shit was hilarious. I can't find that promo. I found it. Like I had watched it. I don't know if it was on TikTok or it was on YouTube. I can't remember where I saw it, but I can't find it again. I tried looking, and I couldn't find it. But it's like I said, it's really good. It's really good. And like I said, the music, the video for his theme song is awesome. The music video, there's like he does like this guitar solo. It's so weird. Like you gotta listen to it after the show. Promise you.
Okay. I will try. Okay.
All right. Now we do have we got a big show. We got a lot to talk about. I did have a question I want to ask you.
It's not no Joe Hendry question, is it?
Yeah, it's not a Joe Hendry one. It's not a Joe Hendry.
I do not have an answer. So
I have another one. So one of the things I do when I'm bored is I go on TikTok, and there was a question up there that it threw me. I didn't even know the answer to, but I wanted to know if you agree or disagree with this. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler were just as important as The Rock and Stone Cold during the Attitude Era.
Are you asking me, do I agree with that?
Agree or disagree?
I would say yes. Why wouldn't they not? I mean, if you just took it at face value, you're like, oh, you know, Rock and Stone Cold were in the ring, but it's like, who was telling the story? Like, who was, you know, filling in those gaps? Like, who was helping? It's like a collaborative thing. It's like, it's just not, because if you just see, I notice when I go to live events, it's fun, but then I also kind of miss hearing the commentary sometimes. It's a little, I don't know if it's just me, but I would argue yes, because you think of like these sound bites and you hear JR, saying, Austin era. I know this is not the same match, but it's like the Austin era has begun, or you hear the banter between, Lawler and JR, because Lawler was the heel announcer and everything. I agree with that. I think they're just as important, because then you think about like later on when JR wasn't on commentary as much, they'd still have these big matches, and you'd hear, you know, some of the wrestlers requested that he be on the call. So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. All right, I agree too. It just took me a little minute. I had to really think about it. I was like, yes, and then but it's fucking Austin. But then I was like, I guess
you gotta look at the big picture. Right? If you just take it at face value, I could see.
But if you really dive deep, you make a point. You make a point. All right, so before we get into our talks, we do have just some news that came out today. I just want to get your quick thoughts on it. WWE USA Network agreed for the last 3 months where WWE Monday Night Raw does not have a home. They will still be on USA for $25 million. So until the Netflix deal kicks in at I believe in the first week of January, Raw will still stay on USA, and they're getting paid $25 million for that. So, any thoughts?
I can't wait till they move to Netflix. I don't have cable. I just, my YouTube TV trial just ran out. Like, I cannot wait. I am so sick. And then being on Mountain Time, even if you try to watch it on YouTube TV, it doesn't start until after. Like, I can't watch it live. Like, I have to wait until it's over. So I gotta like start watching it at 9:00, which is 11 o'clock your time, and then it's 3 hours. And then depending on if you try to watch from the beginning or you catch it live, once you press live, you can't like fast forward and rewind. Like, it's like I gotta really sit here and watch it. I can't wait. Congratulations. I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is wild. So you have to press it watch from the beginning, and then you can kind of like mess with it. But no, I can't wait. Like, I literally say that to myself. I'm like, I cannot wait till they move. I really don't watch Netflix as much. I mean, I'm gonna get it because Bridgerton's coming out, but other than that, I really don't really watch it. So, but no, I'll get it for that. Like,
I'm probably wait till then. I mean, there's stuff up there that I need to watch that I haven't gotten a chance to watch yet. I still haven't watched Avatar, the new Avatar they created. But I gotta watch that and shit like that. So I'll definitely get Netflix. But yeah, it's a good deal. I like USA. I like, it's still WWE's still gonna be working with USA because SmackDown's gonna be up there. But
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But it's okay. The only problem too, NXT. Obviously NXT's losing USA. They're going to is it CW again? Yeah.
So I gotta figure out if you have Peacock, I can watch NXT the next day. I can watch it on Wednesdays on Peacock. But now it's like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, see, I don't know, and I don't know if they actually explained it, but like I don't know what's going to Netflix because I don't think everything on WWE is going to Netflix. I just think Raw is going.
Yeah,
to
I thought it was just Raw.
So if everything stays on Peacock, then I don't know. It's a little bit confusing, but I guess all the pay-per-views are gonna still be on Peacock. So
I mean, I don't know. My kids like to watch Netflix, so it's like I wouldn't mind getting it for them because they watch the Netflix Kids and things like that. I'll keep Peacock for the PLEs. As for SmackDown, I'm gonna have to either read the John report or catch the highlights on Twitter like I usually do sometimes if I can't watch it. So, and it's just sad because I actually I really want to watch the product. It's just I'm not springing for cable. So
yeah, I got you. Yeah, and after that draft, I don't know, SmackDown might be the show, but we'll see. We'll get it.
Here we go.
We'll get into this shit. But before we get into that, we got so many topics to get to, so let's see what we got here for today. So we're going to be talking about Backlash. We're going to be reacting to Backlash. Then we got a question that I'm going to pose to Sasha and get her opinions on.
We got a lot of questions tonight.
We did got questions. We got a lot. I don't know why, but I've been questioning some decision making, which it's been a while since I've questioned the decision making of Triple H. But I mean,
Okay, well, we'll talk it out. We'll talk it out.
we'll talk it out. You know,
Easy.
I'm not actually going to ask that question yet. Let's go ahead and start with the Backlash reaction, and then I'll ask that question. So, what are your thoughts on Backlash? They were in Lyon, France.
Yes.
So, what do you think, Sasha? How did you feel about that? The whole event?
I enjoyed it. Came on 10:30, I think, 10 or 11 o'clock a.m. here. I think it was last week, so I had to think about that. But no, I enjoyed it. I mean, with the exception of that Elimination Chamber, that was brutal to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning to watch that. But no, other than that, I really enjoy the international pay-per-views because at the time, like, when it came on, I think I waited like an hour after it started because I was, cooking and doing mom stuff. I sent the kids outside because it was a nice day. I got pizza, just kind of chilling out. But it was actually kind of cool to just get it out and watch it and, to kind of start your day and then you can go about the rest of your stuff. The crowd was fire, as everybody has seen. You saw, like, they're talking about, like, the noise, like they got warnings on their watches about how loud it was, and they did not get tired, dude. Like, they were just going, and that's gotta be amazing for the talent. They just reacted to everything. They were singing, they were chanting stuff that we didn't understand because a lot of us don't speak French. Mm-hmm. It was cool. I don't know, like, maybe I have to watch it back. Puerto Rico still has my heart, though. Like, France was awesome. Like, they were amazing. Like, amazing. But that Puerto Rico crowd last year was so dope. But energy-wise, I might have to give it to France. Because, like I said, I don't even remember them being quiet at all. Like, those international crowds, they're amazing. And I know a lot of people were making a big deal about, is WrestleMania going to be in London and they're going to take international? I mean, it's been 40 years. I mean, just give them one. You got to admit, it'd be pretty wild. And considering, like, a lot of people from overseas come here for WrestleMania, it would be kind of nice to, go over there if you could. So I thought it was a good show. It was good. It was 5 matches. It kind of reminded me of, like, old school NXT takeovers. Yeah. Not everybody was on the card, which is fine. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. But I enjoyed it. What about you?
I liked it. I did like it. I thought every match was good. Mm-hmm. The crowd was awesome. I loved obviously the phenomenal chant with AJ was epic. You go to the Jey Uso entrance, epic. I mean, it's the way they treated Bayley and, singing the Bayley song. And will you be my girl? Like, I mean, that's also after every 2 count. They do the 2 count thing. I don't know exactly what they were saying for that, but it was after every 2 count. I thought that was pretty cool. Their reactions to everything, it's just like they soaked in everything. It really didn't matter what was happening. It could have been a bad match, and I think they would have treated it like the greatest match ever just by their reactions. It was, obviously Puerto Rico crowd is going to have my heart because I am Puerto Rican. But, I love the whole, if this is going to be an every year thing where Backlash is, outside of the country, and I don't know where they can go next year. Maybe they do Italy or something. I don't know. Like, I think that's great because they already do the Euro tour after WrestleMania anyway. That's like a normal thing. So just keep it something in Europe. I think that would be amazing. But yeah, great crowd. They definitely showed up. One of the greatest crowds probably of all time.
I agree. They were pretty awesome.
All right, so let's just do a little quick rundown of the matches, give some quick thoughts, and let's go ahead. Number 1, the Bloodline. They add a new member as they defeated the Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, the Rated RKO show. They won this. This turned into a street fight. It was supposed to be just a straight up tag team match. They brawled before the match. So Adam Pearce came out. I mean, not Adam Pearce.
Nick
I'm sorry. Nick Aldis came out, and he changed the match to a street fight, and they tore the house down. I thought it was a great match. Like I said, they did add a new member to help Solo and Tama as a surprise. Tongaloa came and took out the ref, and we now have GOD, part of the new Bloodline, ran by Solo Sikoa, who is, I guess, assuming his position as the new tribal chief.
Supposedly.
I don't know. I didn't get that memo.
I am not convinced completely that that's him, but okay.
I'm just saying, like, I didn't get that memo in the family newsletter. New tribal chief in town. So I don't know. But yeah, what are your thoughts on GOD officially? And I'm not sure how familiar you are with GOD, but how do you feel about GOD reuniting under Solo Sikoa?
Well, I am glad that we are recording this show when we are, because when he popped up, I didn't see his face initially. So I was like, hey, another guy. Like, is this Jacob Fatu? And then I looked at him. I'm like, that does not look like Jacob Fatu. So they said his name. So I knew about Tama Tonga. I had no idea about Tongaloa. But I went back and I did my research. And I was like, oh, okay. They're a tag team. Gorillas of Destiny. Interesting. So,
ain't nothing realer than Gorilla.
And then I didn't know that he was Camacho, because I remember that name. And I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, again, what a time to be alive. Like I said, I didn't know too much about him. I'm still waiting on Jacob Fatu, because I keep hearing like how amazing he is. And I've said this before on many episodes ago. I'm the kind of wrestling fan where it's not that I don't care what they did prior to WWE. It's just that I like to form my own emotional connection to them, because I feel like if I try to go off of something that they did and it's not the same, I don't want to be like disappointed. And I feel like maybe that's what a lot of people do. They're like, oh, they used to do this and that and this and that. And it's like, if you watch WWE long enough, sometimes that might not work and they have to do something different. So I'm like, let me just go ahead and form my own opinion. With that being said, Tongaloa, I mean, I am firmly reinvested in this Bloodline thing. So I am just gonna wait and see. I do wonder, are they gonna like let Tama and Tongaloa be a tag team? I know that A-Town Down Under are the champion and they're heels. Mm-hmm. But like, I wonder, like, especially and we'll talk about it later with the draft, like, how long are they going to keep the titles? If you have like a face team, like a DIY win, and then you have, I know they're probably not going to be called Gorillas of Destiny, but if you have them go after the tag team titles, I think this version of the Bloodline is much more violent than the previous one. And I think that adds a real interesting dynamic, because I watched and it was like a couple of years ago, I watched an interview Tama Tonga did with Chris Van Vliet, and he's like such a nice guy, like he's like a nice family guy, but like on screen, like I'm not gonna fuck with this guy. Like he looks like he doesn't say anything. Like this is a totally different Bloodline, and I just want to see how Tongaloa is going to fit into it. I want to see what they do with Jacob Fatu. So really at this point, I don't care what they do. Like, I'm interested. And even like that touch of when Jey was getting ready for his match and they just walked past him.
Yeah.
They looked at him, and Paul looked at him like,
help me.
yeah, help me. Like it's amazing how much they could still get out of this. Because for a while I was like, man, is this Bloodline story over now that Roman lost? But now it's like they kicked it into another gear. So with all that being said, I'm fully invested. I really enjoyed the street fight. I thought it was a good touch to have Nick Aldis come down and just say, man, let him fight, let him go. So I enjoyed it. And this Bloodline thing, I'm ready. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready for that. I mean, so just for anyone who don't know, GOD, they're the 7-time IWGP champion, tag team champions. They were ROH Ring of Honor tag team champions before. So they were always, considered one of the best tag teams in the world.
They were trained by the Dudleys and Haku.
Yeah. So I believe Tongaloa is it? Wait, which one is? One of them is actually Haku's son. I think Tamatonga is the adopted son.
Yeah.
And Tongaloa is the actual son of Haku. But either way, I mean, they're still brothers. Either way, they do have another brother, Hikuleu, who is currently taking over the Guerrillas of Destiny name with Phantasmo. I don't know if you guys know who Phantasmo is, but he's a great wrestler too. Not a big fan of the brother, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So this is exciting. I mean, it's going to be what they could potentially build up to. It's just making me go crazy. Like, I'm loving every second of it. Just the thought of it, whether it's The Rock who's controlling this, or if it's just Solo just saying, nah, fuck this, I'm taking over. Just the ideas in, that could potentially happen because of this whole thing with Roman. Whenever Roman decides to come back, the potential reunion of the Usos. Could we see the honorary Us join too? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy the stuff that we can see over the next year, because I think next year's WrestleMania is going to be very, very special. Which I guess that's another announcement. I should have said it earlier in the show. They did announce that WrestleMania is going to be in Las Vegas. So
yeah, I think it's Easter weekend, and it's going to be 420.
Yeah, that's my mom's birthday too, 420. So I might have to tell my mom, sorry, but I ain't gonna be around for your birthday. Your boy probably gonna go to Vegas. I might
it's as well an 11-hour drive from where I am, so I'm like, ooh, maybe.
Yeah, I gotta kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I wanted to go to Vegas and I want to go to Mania. So hey,
yeah, I've never been to Vegas. I've been to Mania, but I've never been to Vegas, and I'm like, ooh.
I might have no choice. That's probably the plan. I'm probably going next year. I think if there's one I'm going to, it's probably that one.
People are acting a fool out there.
Yeah. Well, okay. Gotta move on. But yeah, this is the thought of what the Bloodline is gonna. The storyline it's crazy. It's been 4 years and we still got so much more that we can go. That's truly amazing and great storytelling. But anyway, all right. So let's get on to the next match. Triple threat match. Bayley defended her title. She defeated Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Quick match. About 13 minutes long, but it was a great match in those 13 minutes. Wish they got a little bit more time, but it's okay. Tiffany showed out. Naomi Bayley hit the 1D on her, or 3D, whichever you want to call it. Thought that was a pretty cool spot.
That was interesting.
Bayley, got the quick win, basically the sneaky win, I guess you can say. Just doing a reverse. And got the pin on Naomi, so Tiffany didn't get the pin, so that's great. She got saved. Naomi took the fall. Bayley's still your champion. I like it. I love that Tiffany. It's Tiffy time almost for the title. I think it's coming soon. I don't see Bayley having a long run with it because it's Tiffy time. The crowd loved her. They loved everybody. I love that Naomi got her flowers too by the crowd. They absolutely loved
they were hitting the glow and the fist. That was nice.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Every single person in this match got love. And that's really, really special because for women, that's just amazing. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I enjoyed it. I do wonder where Naomi will go after this. And this is another one of those situations where I've been watching a lot more NXT now. I like that they're introducing a women's mid-card title. Mm-hmm. And I do kind of maybe we talked about it last show. Maybe they'll introduce one for the women because I feel like you're right. I do feel like Tiffany's time is coming, which is amazing because she's only been doing this for a couple of years. But yeah, I think something like a mid card. But I mean, they also do have the Queen of the Ring tournament going on, which I'm hoping that besides being Queen of the Ring, once again, they have something else that they can get. But we'll get there.
Well, from what I understand, maybe I heard this wrong, but I thought you get a title shot.
Oh, I'm about to look that up because I've been saying
I heard that. I don't know where I heard that from, but I thought that's what I heard.
Oh, well,
I get a title shot.
We need to confirm that because
I gotta confirm that because I could swear I heard that. I don't know if Cole said it or it was something.
Ready. I need them to do something because it just can't be.
But if they don't, what I think would be cool for at least the women is maybe they come out and so they do like the women comes out. They win the match, the Queen of the Ring, but it's still the crown. It's actually the title. That'd be cool. That would be pretty cool. That would be the mid-card title. But I don't know. I thought I heard that somewhere though. Maybe I read it and it was someone saying it, but I could have sworn I heard it. So we'll get that confirmed. But let's go on to the next match. El Campeón.
Hey, talk nice to me.
Damian Priest defeated the main event, Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight title. About 16-minute match. Thought it was a great match. Priest is having some issues running his club though, so he needs to get that straightened out. But Jey Uso, man, and we'll dive more deep into Jey Uso in just a little bit. But that entrance, oh my god, that was one of the best entrances I've seen in a long time. I gotta admit that was very special.
I thought it was sweet when he said the Fireflies are back and he's here. I thought that was so sweet that he said that.
That's true.
It's so nice. I enjoyed the match. No,
I bet you did.
No. Like I said, we joke about me loving Damian Priest. It's all facts here. But no, I really do want him to have a good reign. And I think that this was a good match for him. I am curious about this whole Judgment Day thing. I don't know. They're kind of in a weird space because Rhea's gone, but then Damian is still the champion of the brand. And with Dom being hurt, it's like I'm just wondering. Like I think we're all kind of wondering, like, when is Finn going to turn on him? Like
and
that's
the side piece.
Yes.
Don't forget the side piece.
Yes. We'll get there. But no, I think this is a very interesting time. I think the dynamic it's interesting. I'm not going to say it's like Bloodline interesting, but I'm still trying to figure out, like, where are they going with this? Poor JD. He said something about his big ass head. It was poor guy.
You know what, though? What I think about Judgment Day? I think that what they should do for Judgment Day, they need some new members. But they need more credible ones. So, obviously Finn is credible, but they need people that haven't, like, loss, or they look more badass. You know who I figured would be, who I think it would be great for Judgment Day, and I think you may like this because he's a badass too.
Oh,
Dijak.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Like, I feel like Damian needs some people like that, because like you got JD, you have Mysterio, Dom, but they're small guys, right? Who's really going to be scared of them? You know, JD's more there to get the ass whoopings. Dom is to get the heel factor, but like you need some badasses, especially behind El Campeon. Like you need some more people.
But then he keeps saying he can handle it by himself.
Yeah, but he's saying that because he got bums behind him.
Not
Imagine
bums.
you got a man like Dijak behind you, and you got like, I'm trying to think who else would be someone. They need someone else too. Like it'd be Dijak and somebody else. Basically, like Damian tries to kind of like replace these guys. Because like JD, you losing too much, you lose everything. Dom, you're hurt and you're distracted right now. Finn, you know, you good, but you just failed twice. Well, really, no, yeah, he failed twice. You lost to Jay, and then you failed me by interfering when I told you not to.
Did I hear correctly that they were talking about Braun Strowman and Damian said that JD can take care of Braun Strowman?
He did say that.
I want to know what El Campeon is on, because
he's feeding him.
What?
He's feeding him. Yeah. You know what was crazy about that moment though? So right before that, I think it was before that. Was that before or after Braun talked to Ricochet?
I don't remember. I remember him talking to him, but I don't remember the order. But I know what you're talking about.
Well,
talking about bullies and Judgment Day and things.
Heel vibes. I don't know why, but I got heel vibes from that conversation when he was talking to Ricochet. It was just weird. But I'll be honest though, Braun wouldn't be bad in Judgment Day either.
I'd rather see Dijak.
I'd rather see Dijak too, but I mean, that's a fucking monster to be behind El Campeon. I mean, that would make Judgment Day like up there. Like,
is it weird? So if we're going with big guys, is it weird to think like maybe they can get like Ivar? Because Ivar's a big dude too.
I mean,
is that weird?
Yeah, you could go
maybe
Ivar.
Maybe
you could go Ivar, but I just don't know how. I mean, he'll have to change his whole like look. I feel like I don't know.
I'm down with that.
I mean, I'm down with it. I just don't know how he would be.
I just thought.
But that's not a bad. That's not bad though. Ivar is obviously really great. I kind of hope though I know that his partner's injured. I think Sarah's pregnant again.
Yeah.
So congratulations to her, by the way. So, he's gonna be basically by himself. So I mean, he might as well start thinking of a singles career. In my opinion, you might as well just focus on that. So if you got to change it up, then change it up. So
I mean, think about it. If it was you and Damian Priest is coming for you with Dijak and Ivar, wouldn't you want to run? I would.
Oh no, I'm definitely running at just the fact that it's Damian Priest coming after me.
I mean, if it was just him, I'm not sure I'd run. I'd probably run the other way. Like,
yeah, you probably run to him. Yeah, I get it. I'm either way. I'm scared of Judgment Day in general because they got Dom, and I know he been to prison, and I ain't got time for that.
Yes. By the way,
yes.
Real quick before we continue, I know he's legitimately hurt. Do you remember when Eddie Guerrero first came to WWE and he got hurt?
It was a shoulder.
Yeah. And then he had like a pipe in his sling. I feel like every week I wait for Dom to try to take a pipe out of his sling and pop somebody upside the head with it. I don't know why. Like every week I feel like that's gonna happen. I wait for it.
That would be great. Dom is just right now, man. He ain't got mommy, and he's getting teased. It's hard to turn away from what he's looking at right now. I don't blame him. I don't
know. The only thing worse than Priest, Dijak, and Ivar coming for you is if mommy has to come for you because you have a wandering eye. That I don't think I would want to go to.
I just want to know where was his bandana? Because you had it in the beginning of the show, and now you ain't got it, and it looked like someone else got it in their pocket. I'm just saying. And then you walking out of rooms with that person. I'm just saying.
The people on the internet, boy, the people on the internet, they will. If it was just me watching that, I don't think I'd have noticed. And I definitely don't think I would have noticed a bandana in her pocket. But
yo, I didn't realize it till later. I was like, wait a minute, is that it?
Yo,
and then like
behind, man,
when they interviewing, who was it? Was it Jey Uso?
I don't remember, but I did see the footage of
when they walked out of the room together. Well, not together, but 2 seconds later. I'm just saying. I don't know, Dom. I mean, I get it. Trust me, I get it.
I can't ride with you on that, man. I can't.
I get it. That's tough.
I don't get in the way of domestic disputes like that because it's going to be a domestic dispute when she comes back.
I know, but damn, that's one hell of a dispute to be in. Anyway, let's get on to some good news. So some better news, I guess. We have some new tag team champions.
Yes,
next match, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill defeat the Kabuki Warriors, who hopefully Asuka's okay. She can get better soon. But they defeated the Warriors, and now they are the new women's tag team champions.
The Mega Powers are on. Yeah. Cocoa Butter Combat Club, they are doing big things.
The greatest storm is upon us. So, yeah. This is, Jay gets her first title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I feel like first tag team title win. That's cool.
The crazy thing is, I had this for WrestleMania. This was the match I had for Mania, but you know they pushed it to Backlash. It's okay, it's still good. It was a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah,
it was a 17-minute match. Cargill, Jay got, she actually got beat down a little bit. Nothing crazy, but she took some damage.
Hey, that springboard was pretty good. I'd never seen her do that.
Yeah, no, I think I've seen her do it one time, but it's still, she never really done. Like I said, I've only seen it done once, so I don't know how many times she's actually done it. But that was pretty cool to see. There was a couple of moments where it was looked like there was some confusion.
Yeah, it was a little awkward in the middle.
It's not a big deal. She got the win. The only thing I was a little shocked by, I will say this. I was a little shocked that Bianca was the one that pinned. Like, I thought it would have been, it's not a big deal, but I just thought Jay would be the one to pin to get the title. I just feel like that would have meant more. But, like I said, 17-minute match. That was the third longest match of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think it would need that much. Nothing against the Kabuki Warriors. They're awesome. And maybe that was more to show that, if you're going to take the titles from them, it's going to be more than just like a slaughter.
Yeah, it's going to be competitive.
It's going to be competitive. So I get it because it's Asuka, and Kyrie. Like, these are two badasses. So I get it. I just wasn't expecting it. But I respect it. So, yeah, got new champs. What are you thinking about this?
I think it's very smart about what they're doing. And I feel like we talked about this. Like, I feel like we talked about this on the show, like them being a tag team and how this is a very wise thing for them to do, because at the end of the day, like, Jade's still learning. but she's going to get her reps in. And in tag team wrestling, that's actually a very smart decision to make, because, you know, she's not having to, you know, it's not just on her, you know, so she's going to get to learn. She's going to get those reps in. And I think by the time it's time for her singles run, I think she'll be in a lot better position. I think she'll have that experience in front of the crowd. Like, they'll really kind of get behind her. And so I think it's really smart. I think it's really, really cool. They look like a tag team. Like, they just look like they're going to run roughshod. And I'm hoping this is going to be the shot in the arm that this women's tag team division needs. They got to get more teams together for them. Like, this is an opportunity, if they're going to do this, to do this right. Because when that split eventually does happen, because I think it will. I think it will, because at the end of the day, like, if you look at Jade Cargill, she's a heel. Like, she looks great. But that's a heel right there. Like, that's
more natural.
Money
that's
right
her
there.
natural position.
And I could see her, you know, saying that, yeah, I came in, you know, I did what I had to do, and now I'm ready to be on my own. Because at the end of the day, it is about her. Because, you know, when she comes to the ring, they always talk about that she wants to build a legacy. She wants to get people talking. She wants to be a Hall of Famer. She wants to be a star. She's not going to be able to do that tethered to Bianca her whole career.
Right.
Like, so she had to come in. She had to play the game. And when she does eventually decide, okay, it's time for me now, it's Jade time, it's going to be sick. It's going to be cool. So I'm looking forward to that. The match was fine. It was competitive, a little awkward, but it was fine. I liked it.
Well, I think this is we can basically lock in Bianca Jade WrestleMania next year. I think that's the one thing I definitely can tell from this. But I will say, I don't know if they can build up the tag team division. I don't know if it'll be them that do it. I think it's more the team that beats them will. So I could see them, you know, having the titles for a while, probably for most of the year, right? Them beating all these teams. But whoever is the team to beat them is going to get such a boost that I think that team will be the one that can help lift the women's, because it's going to mean something now. Not only did they beat one of the most dominant teams ever, right? They're going to have the titles, and that could be what helps uplift the whole division. Right. I don't know who that can be right now. I have no idea. You know, out of all the teams that they currently have, I don't see any of them doing it. But
so I think in that instance, two things could be true. I think what you said could be true, and I think what I meant by like building it up is like they're going to have to come up with. They're going to have to really put a focus on like building up the other teams. Like, yes,
right.
I agree with what you said. Whoever beats them, absolutely. Definitely. But it's like, you gotta get those other teams there. You gotta give them enough time, and because then when they finally do get beat, and that team that you say whoever it's going to be, okay, so then you have to be able to carry the division after that. But what division do you have right now? So
right now, I don't see.
Two things to be true. So we'll see. I mean, they're on. They can go to any brand, and let's see what they do. And like I said, this is super smart. Get her on all the shows. You know, they can go to all three brands. It's just learning. Already, I feel like AEW, I think she needed to go there to get her name out there. And I think a lot of the things that she did, like personality-wise, getting to see her and hear her talk, great. But I think what they're doing now, getting her more in the ring to try to piece everything together, I definitely think this was a smart thing for her career, because I don't think AEW would have been able to use her like this. This is already good. So definitely looking forward to. And one more thing before we move on, not to slight Kyrie, saying I'm ready for Asuka to be by herself again. I am ready for Asuka. I don't know how long. I'm not trying to, put a clock on her career, but I need Asuka to just tear through everybody just one more good time for me. Like, I'm ready for Asuka to do this. I feel like she's been kind of a background player since she joined Damage Control. But yeah, I need her to start killing bitches again. I need her to do that. I miss that Asuka. So
I feel you on that. I think that they're trying to drive more Io now because I think Io's younger. But Io's always been the focal point of Damage Control. I think even when Bayley was there, it was always going to be Io. And Asuka's just trying to help her uplift her career. Because Asuka's already a made person, you know what I mean? So maybe that's why. I agree. I would love to see Asuka.
Even if it's
that.
against
But I'm a big fan of Damage Control, so it's hard. It's hard for me.
Even if it's against Io, I think that would be... Because now that Io's lost the title, they're really not, I think breaking up... I don't think Damage Control is going to last that much longer. Like, I don't see them going into next year still being a team. But even if it's Asuka and Io, like, I would not mind watching that. That's cool. Like, I'm not mad at that. But yeah. I think it would be good for both of them. You kind of get Asuka to kind of just go back to that way, and then you give Io another feud because, like I said, her title reign was pretty much... She won Money in the Bank. She won the title. She had a handful of title defenses, but all this was really leading towards her and Bayley. Yeah. So now that she's not champion anymore, what else can you do? If you're going to work within the confines of Damage Control, fine. I would rather see her and Asuka go at it. So, I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Just give me a triple threat with all three of them. Actually, give me a fatal four-way. I want Io, give me Asuka, give me Kyrie, and then Gilia. Just give me those for WrestleMania next year. That's what I want.
Okay.
That's my dream showdown right there. Fatal four-way, all Japanese woman. Give me Stardom, a Stardom match in WrestleMania. That's just what I want.
Fine by me.
All right, so final match in the card. We'll just get by this quickly. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles had, once again, one of the greatest, I don't know if it's entrances, but it was just intros, I guess. It was so loud that the camera is literally shaking.
We've had a lot of that lately.
I've never seen that happen. But first of all, another thing. Can we give a major shout out, our major flowers to the production team?
Yeah,
because what they've been doing over the last month or so, first of all, the 4K cameras and during the introductions was amazing. All the shots they're taking, these one shots that they're doing on Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they've done them on SmackDown. I'm not 100% sure. I know for sure they've been doing it on Monday Night Raw. But it's just been fucking awesome. So shout out to them. But yeah, that crazy introduction for AJ and the French crowd doing the phenomenal song. It was just amazing. Match was great. About 27 minutes long. Cody Rhodes, his first title defense as champion. I love the fact that they chose a great match instead of a big name. AJ Styles is a big name, but it's not, Triple H went with the bigger match and not like I guess one of the top names that he probably could have went. Maybe like a Orton or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, that Orton thing needs to sit. We're not doing that right now.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I just like that he went for the big match. We got the big match. This was a really great match. What are your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I think it was a very good match for Cody's first televised title defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was guaranteed to be a good match. Like, in no way did I think this was not going to be a good match. It gave AJ that spotlight, to show that he's still very much, he can still go. I think it worked for everybody. I'm curious to see where AJ goes now. And I think I think how they're doing it with Cody, because if you think about it, it was such a big, I don't want to use the word story because that's been used ad nauseum, but it was such a big angle to get him there to be champion. And now for him to actually be the man and go there and defend it, I think this was a good start. And I think it was kind of nice. I don't want to say this to be disrespectful to AJ because he's first ballot Hall of Famer, but I'd like that it was just about the wrestling. It was just like, let's do this and let's save the angle, another angle, like maybe the Orton angle, maybe whoever down the line, because he just came out of something big. Let it kind of breathe for a little bit. Let him kind of, get on his feet as champion and then go from there. So I like that. I like the match, and I just want to see where they're going to go now.
Totally agree.
It's kind of like for Damian Priest. Like, this was just, we need to kind of get everybody used to seeing them to be champion, and let's go from there,
Yeah, it's, this is now like the new beginning, so you got to give everybody their first win.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley got her first win. Priest got his. Rhodes, even Bloodline, they got their win. So now we can start putting the stories in place for the future. So speaking of the future, I guess this is I could throw that question I had for you. Another question I had for you. But it revolves around Jey Uso. I posed this question because over the last couple of weeks, the reactions that Jey Uso has been getting, I ain't gonna lie, this man might be the biggest name in the company right now. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't see anyone getting the reactions that Jey is getting. So that's why I posed the question to you, and I gave you time to think about it. But has Jey Uso already surpassed Cody Rhodes as WWE's top babyface?
That's a good question.
And by the way, yeet. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, man. I can see why you would ask that. Because who doesn't love Jey Uso, right? Like, it's really hard not to love him. It's strange. Like, they both have had such an interesting journey to get where they are. Like, if you really just like sit back and look at like the totality of it, there's so much parallels. They've both been wrestling for a good amount of time. They both have that family lineage. Golly, they've both been at some point they've run into Roman Reigns. Like, it's crazy, but I could see. I think maybe because Cody's definitely a company guy. I think it's like two different ends of the spectrum, right? So Cody's definitely like, he is the traditional face of a company where he wears a suit, he signs the autographs, he kisses the babies, he's very well spoken, like he's company guy. Jey is more of I think he kind of like plays to not the younger crowd, but he just seems to be more connected to like the culture. Like, he's definitely the cooler of the two, I would say. Like, he's fun, he's entertaining, he's funny, and I think with his arc, he's been given enough time where the people are very much emotionally attached to him. So I think it just depends on what you're going to classify as more, I guess, who's more popular. Like I said, Cody's definitely more traditionally popular, right? But it's hard to argue because I want to go and do the yeet. Like, I want to go do it. It looks fun. But like, I think I texted you a couple weeks ago and I said, like, my sons are like 5 and 3. So they just started to notice that I watch wrestling, right? And I started noticing they were like humming Cody Rhodes' song. Like, they're walking by and they're just humming it. And like, I noticed they were upstairs and I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, we're playing WrestleMania and I hear, I'm Cody Rhodes, so it just depends, like, who you're asking and who you're trying to, relate to. But I don't know. Like, that's a tough question. That's like the one that I don't think I can really answer all the way. It's hard.
So I'm gonna say no, but god damn, it's close.
Right?
It's to the point where, I mean, it's either Triple H is doing this purposely to kind of have Cody slow down a little bit so everyone can catch up, or at least for Jey. Because right now, if you look at it, and I know this is going to go into the next topic because we're going to be talking about the draft.
I know you've been waiting.
We're going to talk about it, but what they did is, at least from what I see, they put them on 2 separate brands for a reason.
Yeah.
I think, now, was that the right thing to do? I think it was.
Yeah, I agree.
But you have to, if you're going to do it, then you better make sure that Jey's it. And if he is it, if you're choosing him to be that person, then you got to go all in with him. And I feel like that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, you look at a couple of weeks ago when they did the one shot with Jey, when they were in the night that what was it? Sami Zayn fought Gable for the Intercontinental title. That night, they had Jey go to the crowd and everything. Crowd's going crazy. They have the whole Pat McAfee thing. But, he goes to the crowd going crazy, and then Sammy does his thing, right? And then what he does just recently on Backlash, he goes into the crowd, has the most epic entrance. Crowd's going absolutely nuts with no McAfee there, and it's still going nuts.
Yeah.
Like, now, could that just be because of the international crowd? You can argue, but at the same time, he just did it a couple weeks ago, like I just mentioned, and they went crazy. So, and they go crazy everywhere. So, it's just, I don't know. It's close. But having McAfee back him up, having people like Gunther look down on it and like have these reactions, that only helps it. Drew McIntyre, who's becoming one of the biggest heels in the company, and the Kendrick Lamar hater style person that he is. Shout out to Team Drake, but him hating Jey Uso even more for taking his spot, that's only helping Jey. So it feels like they are going all in with it, and it's working. It's really working, and now they might have their future face of Monday Night Raw. They might have it.
Which brings me to wondering. I keep saying that they're like, he needs a title because he hasn't won a singles title yet.
Right.
I mean, he's in the King of the Ring tournament. I don't see him winning.
You said what? I'm sorry?
I said he's in the King of the Ring tournament, but I don't see him winning that, by the way. I think that's going to be Gunther, but I digress.
It's going to be interesting because it depends. It honestly depends on next week. Next week will determine if he wins or not.
So, I mean, okay. Clearly, Senior is on top of Raw.
Yes.
I would not be mad if Jey was the one to beat him. However, if you look at the Intercontinental Champion, I have been wanting Sami and Jey to do something else again.
Okay.
And I liked the match. I love the match at WrestleMania with Gunther and Sami, right? I love what they've been doing with him and Gable. But I'm interested because I don't think it has to be Sami turning heel or anything. It has to be anything of that. They have the kind of relationship where I compare it to New Day, where it's like, I really don't want them to turn on each other, right? Because it feels like there's genuine love and friendship and brotherhood between them.
Right.
And I feel like it would be kind of poetic if they have a match. Yeah, it's going to be face versus face, right? But I feel like with all that they've been through, it would be a fascinating match to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be, because Sammy's an incredible talent. I think it would definitely, be competitive. I think it would definitely have Jey, because I saw somebody saying that, they're afraid that Jey is going to become one-dimensional because, he has the yeet and all the other stuff. And sometimes they feel like they're kind of glossing over what a complex character he is and what he can actually do when he can say more than yeet and everything. And I think a match with like a program with Sami would be really good for him. Like, I think he would get the win. I think that would solidify him and kind of remind people, like, yeah, fun and games, entrance, yeet, but like, just remember why they call him main event Jey Uso in the first place, right?
Right.
And I think Sammy's the person that can do that, because Sami, you get in the match with Sami, you can feel it. Like, got all the feels, and that's definitely within Jey. So I'm not trying to like save Senior's title, but I just feel like Intercontinental would be good, just because of the Sami thing. But what do you think?
No, I agree with that. I think the Intercontinental title is the title that builds future stars.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that, you want a Jey Uso to win for his first time. Because, yeah, you do want him to win the main title. But I think the problem with that is you have a bigger... how do I say this? There's a bigger story that can probably use that title more than Jey winning it. So, like, if Jey wins it from Damian Priest, you gotta think about, like, all right, now who's he gonna go against? You can do him and Drew, or you could do, continue it with Damian, but at the same time, you kind of want that title to go around the Damian. I mean, you kind of want that title to go in the Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud, I feel like, because you want to get CM Punk a title, at least the title. I feel like that's something that you want to work around, especially since he cost him the title. So what would make Drew even more pissed is that if Punk had it, and I feel like that would just make that feud even more special. Whereas with Jey winning the Intercontinental and you bringing up Sami, which I think is an excellent point, Sami would be the perfect person to put him over because of their story pass.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you know how Triple H likes to mix storylines. That would be kind of cool. You know, eventually this is how the Bloodline come back together. May I say? Dare I say?
I keep seeing people saying that Sammy should come back and help the Bloodline. Like,
I mean, I said it earlier on the Honorary Loose. I know that people it wouldn't. I know it's not technically family because this is a Bloodline Civil War that it seems to be, you know, brewing. But storyline wise, it makes sense for it to be Sammy. Like people, I saw things where it'd be like Jacob Fatu joins Roman. No, I'm sorry, but no. He needs to be on that side with Solo. And
I don't know. Like when I
have Sammy join the original Bloodline, it was them four. Like that's what it was, and that's what it needs to be.
I don't know if I see him like in the final like match, but I can see him playing a role in getting there. I feel like, well, okay. So if you're gonna put him in, but I could just again, Sammy is a very unique performer in the fact that like the audience just feels with him. Like he can just appeal to you. Like you feel for this man. You can feel when he's hurting. I do feel like if they're going to use him, they need to use that part. You know, the honorary Oos and feeling Oozy, that's cute, great, but you got something unique in Sammy. So if they could, especially like, I don't see him being on the side of like Tama Tonga and everything. And we just talked about like how extremely violent Tama Tonga is.
Right.
Like, you imagine them beating up Sammy, like really beating him up, and how? Because I was taken aback when they beat KO up and they bloodied him up. But then he's KO. Like KO will jump off of shit. It was just more shocking to see the blade. I feel like if they did something similar like that with Sammy, like that would really hurt.
Well, I think that I would love it if they do a thing where, you know, you got to remember, the thing about Roman Reigns, my tribal chief, is Roman has technically never turned on anybody. If you think about his whole history, Roman's never turned on everybody. It was everyone who turned on him. You know, Jimmy and Jay, they turned on him.
I mean, even though he was emotionally manipulative and gaslit everybody,
he might have done that, but he never turned on them. He still looked at them as family, but he didn't turn on his family. They turned on him. Whether it was right or wrong, doesn't matter. Same thing with Sammy. Sammy turned on Roman. You know? It's Seth turned on Roman. Everyone turned on him. So it would be kind of the way I would do it. I know it's kind of switching, but it's the way I would set this up is kind of like, can we really trust Roman? Like, Roman doesn't ask for help. He's not gonna ask them to come and help me. But they see that he's getting beat up. They see all these things happening to him. And they want to, but you know what? They're gonna be like, nah, man, he deserves it. He deserves it. But then it gets to a point where it's like, you know what though? We family. And I can't let my brother go down like that. And that's how they, one by one, slowly come out. It's going to take, I think Sammy's probably going to be, I don't know who's going to be the last one. I don't know if it's going to be like Jey. It's Jey that convinces Sammy, or it's Sammy that convinces Jey. Like, I don't know which one. But I feel like that's how it's going to roll. Because the first person that's going to come to help Roman is going to be Jimmy. That one you could book that.
I don't think it would be so much helping Roman. It would be because Solo and them took him out, right? So
yeah, but at the same time, the only way to save their brother, because you gotta remember, Solo is their brother. The only way to save him is to join with, their devil, I guess, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's not so much helping Roman, because then you don't want to. You have that, you don't want to throw away the fact that he basically was having a reign of terror for 3 years.
Yeah,
so
but at the same time, too, though, you gotta remember too, though, Roman didn't get rid of Jimmy.
Yeah,
he brought him back. So they're on good terms, and you know what I mean. Like technically, they're on good terms. Roman didn't get rid of him. He just was mad that he lost, but he didn't get rid of him. Solo did that himself.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that big. I don't think it would take that much convincing for Jey, because if you listen to what he's been saying all this time, he never hated Jimmy. He said, that's going to be like day one. Like he would love to get, he would have loved for them to still be cool, right? And he still loves them. So it was never, there's no hatred there. So yeah, that would be, I feel like if you're going to put Sami in there, which like I said, I'm still having a hard time seeing him in the end, but I guess I could see maybe Jey convincing Sami, because the other way around, like, they did beat Jimmy up and he doesn't hate Jimmy. So that really wouldn't be that big of an ask. Roman would be the only question mark, because it's like, how do you fit him back in there? Because he's basically, I know he didn't kick Jamie out, but him and Jey had stuff out, him and Sami had stuff out. Like, he's the only piece where I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna slide him back in there. Jimmy, yeah, I could see it, but it's like, especially too, like if Jey goes and wins a title by himself, like really doesn't really need them anymore. Like, and he even said a couple weeks ago, he was like, I love the promo. I tried to, come to Raw and get a fresh start, but the bloodline won't let me go. I love that part.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but the bloodline, you can never let go of the bloodline.
But but yeah, at the end of the day, they're still family. Like they could, and I guess you can relate as an audience member. Like, how many of us have like super dysfunctional family relationships? But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, I can talk shit about them, but you can't talk shit about them.
You can't
do that. So yeah, that's also interesting.
It's gonna be a very interesting couple of months. I could tell you that. At least the planning for it. I don't know when they're going to resume it, as far as the big names with Roman, and you got Rock out there, you got all these things. Jacob Fatu is signed, but we don't know when he's coming. Like, they got all these things. It's going to be a very interesting couple of months.
Buckle up, people. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, buckle up. But before we go on this drive,
here we go. I've been waiting all show for this.
This is we hit some bumpy spots on the road, apparently.
I didn't think it was that bad, but okay.
Or maybe we just drove on the same road we were just on an hour ago, or for the last year, I should say, because obviously nothing's changed on this path. And what I mean by that is the WWE Draft 2024 edition. We just had it, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck Triple H been doing, bro.
I don't think this is as bad as we think. But you go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
As bad as it. What?
I don't think it.
If there was any good time for the crowd to say what? What are you smoking on?
I mean, where I am at, it is legal. Not to say that I'm doing it.
I bet. I can tell you're enjoying
No,
it.
it's not. I don't know. No, I don't do that. But
I am
Okay.
sure you're enjoying it because
no, I don't. No,
This-
not
this
need to partake. It's just. I'm letting you know.
this is the
It's legal here.
absolute, like the absolute, like, and this is, you know, this is the. I feel like this episode should be titled questions because like all I have was questions for you, Sasha, because you know, did the WWE Draft actually create more problems for the WWE? It's the question I posed to you a couple days ago. And based on your little response you had right there, I'm going to say you're saying no. I just don't know what the hell you're seeing.
I didn't say that it was perfect. I said I don't think it's that bad. I can see why.
It didn't do anything.
Okay, I can see why you would say that. That's why it's not
Like,
that.
I'm looking at this shit.
It's
Look.
disappointing.
I'm gonna give you the top 10 picks on the Friday because they started SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
The first 10 picks. Bianca Belair to SmackDown. She was already on SmackDown. Jey Uso to Raw. He was already on Raw. We got a surprise. We got Carmelo Hayes from NXT to SmackDown. Okay. Congratulations. Seth Rollins to Raw. He was already on fucking Raw.
I know that.
Randy Orton to SmackDown. Guess where he was at? SmackDown. Bron Breakker, which they made a big deal about Braun signing a contract to either Raw or SmackDown for only literally like less than a month later, he switches brands. So what was the point of fucking signing him? But anyway, he's going to Raw. Nia Jax. Oh, we finally got a switch.
Which I called, by the way.
You did. Shout out to you. She's going to Raw. I'm sorry. She's going to SmackDown from Raw. So, all right. Congratulations.
Which makes sense.
Liv Morgan. She got drafted to Raw. Guess where she's at already? Raw. LA Knight. Which he didn't make the switch he should have made. Like I said he should. I believe you said the same thing too. But LA Knight to SmackDown. Guess where he was already? SmackDown.
Okay, we get it.
Oh, hey, the last one. Ricochet. Which
Get it.
okay, this is another thing, and he went to Raw and he's already on Raw. Okay, those are the top 10 picks on that night. First off, let's get something straight here. I love Ricochet. And after his match on Raw, actually the last couple of matches he's had over the last like 2 months, he's been fucking killing it. First of all, shout out to him also becoming the first WWE Speed Champion. Gotta give me props for that. But why is he getting drafted ahead of the Bloodline and AJ Styles? I'm just posing the question.
Like I said.
And I love Ricochet. You know that.
Yes. Like I said.
Well, let's just be honest here.
When I said it's not that bad, I don't think it was perfect. If you look at the totality of it, yes, there are some things they should have done better. Yes, there are some questionable choices of why, so-and-so was picked here, so-and-so was picked there. I get it.
What's the point of the draft if you're keeping the same damn roster?
Okay, but we also have to look... That part I understand. I do feel like there are certain people that would have definitely benefited from a move. But then you look at it and it's like a lot of the feuds that we're looking forward to, if they move them, then that's kind of throwing stuff out the window.
I agree with that.
You can't move Liv Morgan, right?
I agree with you on that. But then don't have the draft.
You can
do the draft later.
Okay.
If that's the case, you're saying, because you make sense. What you're saying right there makes perfect sense. Like, I get that. For storyline reasons, you can't move people. then move the people that are not in storylines. Then have some maneuverable people.
But then they can't just have like, oh, like they can't make it super obvious. Like, oh, we're just gonna move these people because it's clearly. Then it's they. I get what you're saying. They were put in the corner with this. I get it. Because like you can't move a Drew, right? You can't move it because you can't move CM Punk because they're in a feud, right? But then other people were like, you can't have LW. I'm so glad that they moved to LWO, even though I was pissed that they moved Andrade to SmackDown and then they moved Zelina to Raw. I was very upset about that. But you just can't have certain people like, oh, we're gonna move all of these people. It's gonna be super obvious. But like people like LWO, they needed to move. They cannot feud with Legado anymore. We're done with that. It's over. The Pride, Final Testament, they had to move. It's over. Shinsuke, he had to move.
Wait. Hold on.
Final Testament got moved, not the Pride.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, they had to go. Damage Control had to go. Right? I get it. A lot of it was like, well, damn, this is super repetitive. Like, so-and-so staying. Yeah, that part, I totally get your confusion. But, like, the totality of it, the way it went down wasn't exactly the best, but they had to make a necessary move. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, they had to go.
Why did they have to go? Maybe
because I feel like they've been on Raw for a long time.
Okay.
Just like Nia had nowhere else to go. Like I feel like
answer this. Then. Okay, I get your points on that. You make 5 points. Then answer this. What the fuck did NXT do in this draft?
As far as like they didn't
anything.
Get anything.
They what was Ava talking about draft picks?
Right, because I feel like, and maybe I think I got it confused when I text you because I was like, does NXT get picks? But I thought maybe that was just for our show that we did that, right? Wasn't that what it was?
No, she was talking like she was drafting.
Oh well,
she was on NXT. She was on Raw and SmackDown talking about like the draft.
Because I too thought like, because remember we talked about it. We were like, who would benefit from going to NXT? And now you see like Michin is in the running for the women's North American title,
but she's not drafted there.
I know.
She got drafted to Raw or where?
No. What I'm saying is that I'm saying to your point, had NXT been allowed to draft, that something like that would have made more sense than her just showing up. So I get what you're saying. Why was Ava there?
Ivy Nile was also there too. She was part of
that. She was, Yeah. And I think too, like those kind of things would be up. I mean, I don't know.
This shit made no sense, and it's to the point. Yo, get rid of this damn thing. I'm like serious.
The only thing I'll say about the drafts where I think they'll run into an issue, I know they said that they were locked down on Monday, but when you have this Bloodline thing go down later, Jey Uso's on Raw, right? But then you have the caveat that Roman withdrew from the draft, but everybody else, like Jimmy, I don't know, that Jimmy was injured, so I guess he didn't get drafted.
Jimmy's technically injured, so he's a free agent.
Yeah, so then you have Solo and them, they're on SmackDown. That's the only question I really have. Like, how is this Bloodline thing going to go down if they're on separate shows? But I guess they're just going to do what they do and just have it happen. It's
not going to go down till later in the year anyway, so they got plenty of time. They could do trades or some shit. Like,
yeah, so
I'm sure they're going to they can figure that part out. Like, I honestly don't care about that. That towards the end of the year, they just break the rules anyway. Yeah, so it don't fucking matter with that, to be honest.
Yeah, like I say, if you look at the totality of the draft, yes, the way it went down, it was really repetitive. But if you look down the line, the small changes that needed to be made were made. And I agree for them to hype it up the way they did and for it to be 2 nights. This really could have been something like, maybe not like that.
Say this. This is if they want to fix the draft. This is how they fix it. I'm gonna solve it right now. I already texted Triple H this. He didn't respond, but it's okay.
Here we go.
This is how you fix the draft. First off, first thing you do is you get rid of this bullshit where there's only polls for each day. Get rid of that shit. So, like, on day one, if I want to draft Jade Cargill, I can draft Jade Cargill. There's no, I gotta wait till Monday night. Fuck that. Get rid of that. That's dumb. 2, you want to make this draft believable? Then draft in a believable fashion. So, they drafted Bianca first pick? Okay. Alright. Cool. Oh, another, before I say that. When they draft, I don't want to see them come out at the same time. What do I mean by that? You know how they had the Dudleys come out?
Mm-hmm.
And Bubba had Raw and Devon had SmackDown or whatever order it was?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that shit. I want it. Bubba Ray comes out. He says, Friday Night SmackDown selects Bianca Belair with the number 1 pick. Then they do a match or something. Come back out with the 2nd pick. Raw selects Jade Cargill. Like, I want it separated. You know why they should do that? Is because if you do it like that, it makes more sense. Oh, shoot, they drafted Bianca. Well, now I got to change plans. Shit, man, I might have to go Jade Cargill because they got their number 1 girl. I can't let them get back-to-back women. Like, do it like that. Another thing they should do, take it off of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Do not do that. Do not have it a part of the show. Have a separate night where everyone has to tune in, and then do it just like the draft where you have every pick. We got to pick every 5 minutes. But they only do they do a 2-hour show, like a special, 2-hour special, have it on Peacock or Netflix, wherever fuck. Don't care. And every 5 minutes, just like the NFL draft, a new pick is announced. And you have the draft rooms like they have and all this stuff. In the meantime, you can have analysts talk about the picks, Booker T, the quacky, shucky, quack, whatever the hell he wants to talk about. CM Punk, have him talking, or Big E, give analysis about these picks. Have like a draft expert, like Peter Rosenberg or the dude, Sam.
We can do it. No.
We can do it. Like, yo, I'm just like, do that. That's how you make the show. That's how you make a draft better. Take it off of Raw and SmackDown. That's a dumb idea. And then when you make the drafts, the draft picks, make them make sense. I'm sorry, but like I said, I love Ricochet. But there's no way you're going to tell me he gets drafted before the Bloodline and AJ Styles. Stop it. Like, let's just be honest. You're not picking Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens. But you're not picking Kevin Owens in front of CM Punk. You're not picking Braun Strowman or the Pride over Tiffany Stratton. Stop it.
He's been sitting on this for a week, you guys. Like, he's been.
Drew McIntyre went in the 6th round. Well, third round. I'm sorry, but he was the 11th pick. Make it make sense. Braun Strowman, we ain't seen that mother Canucker in a year, and he got drafted in front of Drew McIntyre. Oh, I'm done. All right, that's it. I'm gonna stop.
Do you feel better now that you got it out?
Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell got drafted before Bronson Reed and DIY. Okay.
Like I said, could there be some things worked out? Yes. But if you look at the people that moved, the people that had to move, moved. The people that didn't, it had to go down. Me, like you said, I like the idea of having like a little separate draft special. I like that. Let's just do that, get that out of the way, and move forward, right?
And
Because
you
a
know
lot
what?
of
You
a
do
lot
it
of
on
it
a
was
Wednesday
redundant.
night to compete with Dynamite. There you go. Boom. I just
I don't think we need
created the
all of that.
war.
But like I said, I don't. Just maybe do like as an online thing, social media, like every couple of minutes, hey, we're
Or, do it
drafting
on the
so and so.
Saturday.
Yeah, just draft the people. If you're not gonna move them, just draft the people that need to be drafted. But again, I think it was the anticipation. You say the draft, people are gonna tune in. So
Nah, no
much
one
as
was
I like
watching
your
that shit. It
idea,
was
I
the
don't think
NFL
it
draft anyway. No one was
Huh?
watching that shit.
I'm just saying. As much
Oh.
as I like your idea, people are gonna watch the drafts. Even the people that were disappointed that Friday, they probably tuned in that Monday to see.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, it's
everyone's
going to
still
get better,
live,
right?
but all right, let me ask you this. What did you think about the NXT picks? The people
Lyra I wasn't surprised about. ILja I wasn't surprised. But ILja, man, took his opportunity and ran with it, right?
Yeah.
Dijak, I was happy for Dijak. Dijak's been there a long time. Like I'm really happy for him. I was a little surprised at Kiana James. Not to say that like I don't like her. I was just like, I was a little surprised, and I really hope they.
Oh, that's another thing. Love Kiana, but she got drafted before Lyra. Stop it. She got drafted before Roxanne Perez. Stop it. That's
okay. And then
Trick
Blair.
Stop. Oh, okay, let me stop.
We knew Trick wasn't going to get.
I know he wasn't, but still, the fact that Kiana James got drafted before him just doesn't make sense.
Have a Stanka, my friend. But yeah, and then Blair Davenport. So I get it because, like you said,
love Blair, by the way, too.
Yeah. So what we've been talking about the past year is that the SmackDown Women's Division needed a little oomph. So I'm glad that they made some moves. It got some new blood on there. So I'm not disappointed in that at all. Especially like I know you said Candice and them got drafted before so and so. Fine, but they really did need to move. That was good.
I mean, I get it. Me personally, I needed some more. I think they needed some more NXT people. I don't think enough NXT people got moved up.
Well, who else would you have moved up?
I'm not sure, but I just feel like there was only 6 people. 4 of them went to Raw, 2 went to SmackDown.
NXT still needs their
it was Melo, Kiana. Melo went to SmackDown, Kiana to Raw, Baron Corbin to SmackDown, Dijak to Raw, ILja to Raw, Lyra to Raw, Blair to SmackDown. So, I mean,
they got a lot of people, and they're trying to build up some people too. So I think,
I just feel.
I thought that was a good amount of people, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I feel like they could have got a couple more, just to, because I feel in NXT, like, I don't want to say like okay, I'll say this, like Roxanne, I get why they kept her. But I think she was ready to go up, and maybe they're doing it because they got to have someone there.
Yeah, because who would your champion be?
But I think you have enough names that can step in, and they're ready to step up and take that next, the next step to get to where Roxanne is now. But they're very green. I understand that. But the only way they're going to turn those green, from green to great is you got to give them the opportunity. And I feel like Roxanne being there, I just don't know if that opportunity is going to be just readily available. I'm looking at people like Dia Hale, Sol Ruka. These are ladies that are going after, the new title, the new North American title. But
which could be another reason why they didn't move Roxanne.
It could be, And that's probably the main reason. You know, there's no Cora, there's no who else? There's someone else injured right now, but I know Cora's out. Wow, my mind just went blank. I don't know. I just feel like there was maybe you could have just in that heel role because Roxanne's a heel. You know who I think they could have made champion to replace Roxanne? And she's been doing a great job. And this would actually be a shock, like shocker that she would be the champion.
Oh,
Lola.
I think so I think we have to look at this in an objective way. NXT has a lot of women. They use the women a lot. They have more segments than the men in a lot of the shows, right?
Yes.
Like you said, to some degree, a lot of these women are very new.
Yes.
So I understand why they didn't. I could see them maybe moving Roxanne later in the year, right? And aren't they bringing this? What's her name? Julia girl in?
Yeah, Julia's coming, and so that's gonna be. I mean, her first match is gonna probably be Roxanne because it's gonna be on NXT. So you're putting her against the title. Like her first match is title probably. Like, because I don't know who else you put against her, but it's gonna be.
Yeah, so with Julia supposedly coming and starting in NXT, like I can see with Julia coming in, that's why they kept Roxanne. I could see her going like, later in the year, going up to main roster. But yeah, like I said, NXT has a lot of women. They use them a lot of segments, but again, a lot of them are super new. So I understand why they kept her, because you have people like Lyra, you have people like Blair, you have people like Kiana, people that have been there for a while. I think those are the smartest ones to move right now, and then move Roxanne later, because I think Lyra was a good champion, but I think in the long run, if you're gonna have Julia come in, I think it was smarter to have her take it off of Roxanne than take it off of Lyra, right? So I understand that point of view, and I still don't think Roxanne's going to be in NXT much longer, if that makes sense. Like I think, and also it kind of gives her more time with this new heel character she's been doing. So that made sense to me. Like I think, again, look at the totality of it. Like, yeah, it would have been nice to have more NXT people go up, but you can't just leave them high and dry. And Lola, I like your idea, but I think she's on her way, right? Because that match she had with Natty was real good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think doing those kind of things, I could see her maybe coming and being a challenger for Julia, right? And that would be good for her to work with Julia too. So I think it's all part of the process. Like I think they're definitely building Lola up so that when Julia goes, because like I said, I've never seen anything with Julia. I like to wait, but she seems like a pretty big deal for all this stuff to be happening, and she's obviously going to need challengers. So I think that's why they're doing that stuff with like a Lola and Natty. So
I'm gonna tell you this. Julia, I don't see her in NXT. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know why she's going to NXT. And the reason why I say that, and normally I would say you got to go to NXT first, because she got to get used to our style, right? I get that, the WWE style. So I understand why she is. But one, I didn't know that she could speak English like that. Like, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Two, I think her skill level is just way above that, man. Like, I think she can literally scare the hell out of all these green girls. Like, they ain't never been in a ring with a woman like that. Like,
you can make the
like,
same argument for Asuka though. Her English might
no,
be better
but
than
it's
Asuka's.
different.
But
It's different because when Asuka came in, right, she was facing women that they either been indies or they're she was facing the Baileys, the Ember Moons. They've been in the
right.
indies. They've wrestled all that. They've been to Japan. They've wrestled all that. These girls that Julie will be facing now are women that WWE literally built from the ground up.
Right, but they need that.
No, they do, but it's like there's different. That's like sending Trick Williams to New Japan and you're putting him against Okada or like Toru Ishii, and that's like a different world. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
It's wrestling, but it's like, okay, no, because so you may not understand that. It's like putting a newbie on NXT, right? Let's say, I'm trying to think of a new guy. All right, fuck it. This is use Trick. That's like putting Trick Williams and putting him in ECW with Sabu and Sandman. Like, that's just it's out of their league.
I get what you're saying.
And I get what you're saying, that it could benefit them, but like it's different.
But how else are they gonna do it? Like, how else is this going to happen? They can't.
You gotta go. I'm saying, she gotta go to the main roster, man.
I don't see her again. I've never seen her, but from what the hype sounds like, even if she's there, I don't see her being there very long.
Bruh,
and plus, doesn't she have to go? Like, isn't there something with like this other company? Or she said she'd have to go there first, something like that, right? Is that?
No, she's working. So she's doing a favor to a company. She left Stardom and is going to work with this other company that the guy that used to work with Stardom, he created his own company. And apparently WWE and him have like a working relationship. So it's possible that on the very first night of the show, Kyrie and Asuka and maybe even Io, they may go and work the show too. Like, it's just like this rumor and shit going on. So they have like a working relationship with a company in Japan. That it's new, but it's like Stardom, but it's a new women's thing. So that
I don't see her being there very long. So even if
Gilead's only gonna. So Gilead is supposed to be joining NXT. I think the rumor is, I don't know if it's the Battleground one, which is the one that they're in Vegas, the UFC place, or it's the one after. If it's the show after, I can't remember which one they said it was gonna be. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know she's going to NXT, but I don't really see anyone besides Roxanne that can even be like lacer boots. Like, I just don't like it. Doesn't even make sense. Like, you're gonna scare some of these women out of wrestling, bro. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna have. I mean, you
gonna scare them out, but I guess
what's
you
the
weed
difference
out the ones that survive. That means they can make it,
right? And
but you put Kalani Jordan with her, Kalani gonna get killed.
Okay, well, before you get out the pitchforks on this, what would be the difference between her and I'm not listen to what I'm saying before you get the pitchforks? What's the difference between what they're doing with Lola and Natty versus a challenger versus Julia? I know that Natty and Julia are not the same type of wrestler, right?
Yeah.
But what's the difference between what could possibly happen with these girls and Julia and what they're doing with Lola and Natty? I can see Julia definitely knocking off a couple of these girls, kind of a la Oscar, just knocking bitches down, right? But again, I think I see what they're trying to do. They're thinking long term here, because then after when Julia moves up, all right, who we got next, right? Are y'all gonna keep bringing in people and siphoning them out, doing like that? So,
You're
like I said,
right. I'm just
I know,
saying.
I know. You're like, let's get her on the main roster and let her start knocking some heads. I get it. Like, it seems, like I said, I've never seen her, but it seems like she's gonna definitely be somebody to watch.
And she's so like, yo, I like. She was talking English. Like, I literally just like yesterday. I think this was yesterday that I watched this on. She was speaking English. I was like, yo, oh my god, bro. Like, I'm falling in love, bro. Like,
yeah,
oh,
I think
man.
we gotta I think the excitement is, well deserved, but we gotta kind of pull it back, because then we have to think of, again,
I know. I'm just scared, man. I just don't
No,
want my
I
friends to get hurt, bro. I just don't want.
good, 'cause I don't think anybody's ready, and I think with them introducing that mid-card title and getting that started is everything is lining up. If you're gonna bring her in, Roxanne's gonna go up. She'll go, boom, media impact, be champion. You're building people like a Lola up. At the same time, you're getting your mid-card established. I think they're going in the right direction.
No, they're definitely. I trust them. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
I know
they lost some confidence. They lost some confidence from me, but it's okay. They gained it back.
I mean, if they didn't take if they didn't take those 3 women from NXT, right, and you just shuffled what we had on the main roster, look at how SmackDown's women roster suffered. We talked about that. It was literally just Bianca, Michin, Zelina, Shotzi, and Damage Control. You shift that Raw had the stronger women's division by far. You had to take some of the women from NXT. Otherwise, Raw was going to be kind of limping through while SmackDown improved? Like, I think this was the right direction.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know. Anyway, it's okay. That's a topic for another day. Because I do want to get to this last topic before we run out of time. Because this is very interesting, because we're talking about the people getting called up. And we had some recent call-ups, 2 in the draft and 1 that happened prior to the draft that I mentioned. And those 3 names that I'm referring to is Carmelo Hayes, ILja Dragonov, and Bron Breakker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked you a question, and I'm curious to know what your answer is going to be. You've had time to think about it.
This would be like the 21 questions episode.
Yeah, this is definitely it. This is that, because that's one of my favorite songs too. But between those 3 names, who has the brightest future? And I literally thought of this question as his ILja Dragonov's match was happening with Ricochet. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I don't know now. Because I had an answer before, and then now I'm just like, I don't know. I'm so confused. But we know their history in NXT. Now I'm asking you to kind of like predict the future, but who has the biggest future from these 3?
Oh, I saw this question when you asked it, and I immediately lumped it in with the Mount Rushmore questions, because I hate this question. I don't really hate it, but
yeah, I don't think it's a bad question.
No, it's not a bad question. It's just the reason why I hate it is because I can't come up with a straight answer, because my mind immediately wants to like analyze and break it down, and I just wish I was able to come up with boom, this is my answer. Like, I just feel like,
my questions are meant like that. They're meant to make you think.
Okay, well, it did. I'm not saying it's a bad question. I'm like, I just wish I could have been like, oh, so and so, boom, but I can't. I think this is kind of like the same thing we talked about earlier. about Jey and Cody on the spectrum of they're great, but they're great in different ways.
Yes.
So Carmelo, I like his interaction that he had with Bobby Lashley. I really liked that. And I think that's a really good place to start. I think he has a confidence in who he is as a character. And I feel like that's something that's going to benefit him. Because clearly he can wrestle, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
He has that down. Because he didn't look shaken being in a promo with a Bobby Lashley on SmackDown. He looked like he fit there. So I think that's definitely something, that confidence in that character is going to kind of push him to be great in a different way versus ILja, where it's like the way he wrestles is like that's him, like, right? Like, he's probably not going to kill you with a promo in the way that a Carmelo, like, he's not going to come at you that way, but the way that he wrestles, the way he tells the story with his body is just different. And I think that's how he's going to win people over, how he's already winning people over, right? Because you're coming in, you have this you call him the Mad Dragon, you have all this stuff, and he just comes in, he just kind of throws his body all around. Like, it's a different kind of art that he's doing, right? So, because people are already saying we're waiting for him and Gunther. Like, I'm waiting for that. I will say the only one that I guess would be surprising, and I don't want to say that he's not going to have a bright future, because I'm like, let me wait and see what they're going to do, is Bron. Because I feel like from where he started to where he is now, I don't think his character has developed as much compared to the other two. But I hesitate to say that his future's not bright. I just wonder what they're going to do with him. Because he is unique. He does have that intensity where he's not the wrestler that ILja is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the personality that Carmelo is. He's his own animal. He has that intensity. Like, I don't want this dude running into me. I've seen him run the ropes. I don't need him running anywhere near me. Like, I don't need that. But it's how do you fit that in there? Like, what's the wrinkle in that that's going to set him apart, right?
Right.
Because you put him with Corbin, that was interesting, right? Because they were feuding with each other. Now they're on the same page, but I just kind of feel like he's been the one that has the least amount of movement out of the other two. So I would say maybe, I know there's 3 of them, but like for number 1, I would say ILja and Carmelo are tied for different reasons, and then Bron. But I'm not calling an L for Bron because, you know, he's done with NXT now. Like, he doesn't, I know he was on SmackDown, but he was on NXT more. And now that he's actually on a brand, we'll see. But I would say ILja and Carmelo number 1 for different reasons, and then Bron. So that's the way my brain was like, because I don't want to write Bron off. So what do you think?
Well, I will tell you this. I feel so. My original, like, if this was a few months ago, I would have told you, oh, it's definitely gonna be Carmelo Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
However, kind of grew up.
I grew up.
And honestly, man, the Mad Dragon. Oh man, the Mad Dragon is the man's a beast. His interaction in the ring is so awesome. Like, it's actually kind of, how to say it's kind of amazing how in just one match is really all you need to get over. If you get in the ring with the right person, it's honestly crazy, like how much that can do for somebody. And the things that Ricochet did for Mad Dragon in that match, he put him on like a stratosphere that I don't even know he could get to so quickly. He sold for him like crazy. He made his moves like look like they were the most terrifying moves, especially I forgot the name of it, but just his the one where he basically kills you with his forearm.
The H-bomb? Where he like falls on you, that H-bomb?
Like that, I feel that's like the most terrifying move. It feels like it's just it's like he hits you with so much force, and like I love it. I love his finisher where like he kind of does like, so you know how Drew McIntyre has he counts to 1, 2, 3 in the corner before he does the Claymore. Well, Dragonov has a similar thing where he weighs to the left, he weighs to the right, then he weighs right at you, and then he goes in and does his finisher. And like that little thing right there, I knew when I first saw it, I was like, yo, this is gonna sell. Like that's something that the crowd can get behind. And now like I actually finally saw it. The crowd actually get behind that move. Yo, that man's gonna make money. I see him being like that guy. And if he is that person that faces Gunther, like, because I've already seen that match, right? Their UK matches. Well, they had the first one at UK takeover, and then they had the other one was at a regular takeover, if I remember right. Those matches were so special that if they happen on the main roster, which I think we're going to get one, not this Monday, but the next one, because I think ILja is going to beat Jey. If ILja beats Jey and that match happens for the finals of the King of Ring tournament, or the semifinals, I'm sorry, for the King of Ring tournament, that match right there automatically lifts Mad Dragon into the top, like, of the top tier list for Raw. Automatically. That match got to give me 30 minutes. Like, that's all I want. The last 30 minutes, do non-commercial, but no commercials, and just let that match happen. You thought Sheamus and Gunther tore the house down last Monday? What that match is going to do? Yo. I wish it happens at the main. I wish it could be the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. But we're probably...
Yeah, at first I was like, ooh, but then I was like, oh, they're on the same show. So that's not good.
Yeah, they're on the same show. So we don't know the matchups for the King of the Ring tournament from SmackDown. So
wait, I don't
know. Has that been announced?
I believe so. Keep going. I'll bring it up. Keep going.
Okay,
I know
so
they have
if they, I'm not sure who could be a part of it. I'm guessing maybe like LA Knight. Maybe like Mello. I'm assuming Mello would be a part of it. Bobby Lashley, I could see. Like I could see Bobby Lashley and Mello probably facing each other at some point in there. Which, by the way, you mentioned it. I like that they're having that interaction because the whole rumor prior was he was going to join Bobby Lashley's group. So I like that they kind of brought it back in a way. But yeah, I mean, imagine it's Mello and Gunther in the finals.
Whoa. Okay, I got it. Okay, So SmackDown side. Let's do the women first because they don't have the women here. I know that they announced the women, but they don't have it on here. But the men, listen, AJ Styles, Randy Orton.
Oh shit!
Listen, Baron Corbin, Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, I like that because I love their match at NXT. Okay.
LA Knight, Santos Escobar.
Okay.
Hold on. Bobby Lashley, Tama Tonga.
Oh. You know what though? I don't like that. I mean, I like it, but why is that not Solo?
I don't know.
Like, I feel like Solo as the King of the Ring. Yo, like that would be. I feel like that would be special. And then you have, because you got to remember, the last person to beat Gunther in NXT. Do you remember who that is?
The last person to beat Gunther in NXT?
Yep.
Who was it?
It was Solo.
I feel like it's been 4 years since Gunther got beat.
Yeah. So I mean, that just tells you right there. Like Solo's the one that beat Gunther. So that'd be kind of cool if it was Solo and Gunther for the King of the Ring. That would be crazy. But no, okay. So you said Melo's facing who?
Baron Corbin.
Okay, so and then if he wins, he'll face who? Bobby?
Hold on, let me pull it back. I could have sworn that I had seen the SmackDown women's brackets, but apparently they took him down.
I should have known it was going to be LA Knight and Santos. I should have known that feud, that little starter thing.
Okay, so hold on. I'm pulling it back up here because like I said, I could have sworn that. All right, so if Carmelo wins, he's going to face either AJ Styles or Randy Orton.
Oh.
Yeah, they're in the first heat. Then you have LA Knight, Escobar, and then you have Lashley and Tonga.
Okay, so it's probably going to be Melo and Bobby in the semifinals.
You think Tonga's going to lose unless they're going to have somebody like interfere and he doesn't take the...
Yeah, no, I think that's what they do.
Well, if he does, he'd win because it just depends
I say someone like KO or something costs Tama the
because KO's not in the tournament.
Right. Yeah, I can see that, but then I can also see I can see them then getting revenge, and because probably what is going to be the main event of SmackDown is going to be AJ Styles, Randy Orton. So I can see the opener if they're doing all first round matches on SmackDown. I don't know how they're doing it, but if let's just say that's the case, AJ and Randy close the match, close the show. They'll probably cost Tama Tonga the match early, and then they'll get their revenge by costing Randy. Then we'll get AJ versus Melo, which holy shit, you know. I think Melo beats AJ, and then Bobby beats Tonga, and then he faces who you said LA Knight
and Escobar. Yes,
and Escobar. I mean, I could see Escobar winning that just by cheating. I would want LA Knight to win. I mean, I would love to see LA Knight versus Gunther. See, that's the biggest problem I have is that LA Knight is not going. I really wanted to see LA Knight and Jey Uso on the same brand because it would have been like a competitive thing of who's going to be that number one babyface on Raw, because that's the one thing Raw doesn't have currently with Seth out. Well, I guess you could say CM Punk. But as far as like besides CM Punk and Seth, because you know they're gonna get that reaction, who's that next guy?
LA Knight.
And I would have loved to see Jay and LA Knight kind of compete for that.
So do you think, and I don't. First of all, I don't. Like I said, I think Gunther's gonna win it all. So,
Right.
but
More than
again,
likely, yeah.
yeah. Once again, I feel like LA Knight is in this weird spot. Like, and I know he keeps saying like he needs a big win. He needs a big win. He's gotten a couple. Like he beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania, but like for whatever reason, it just hasn't gone to the next gear. I don't see him winning this. Do you think he should win Money in the Bank or something like that?
If he doesn't win King in the Ring, he has to win Money in the Bank. It's to the point where he has to, because this is the problem with LA Knight. It's not LA Knight, and it's not the booking of LA Knight. The problem with LA Knight is it's the wrong place, wrong time. So like when he was getting hot, you had the story with Cody.
And
you couldn't
Bloodline.
really, and the Bloodline. So it's like you really couldn't give him the Money in the Bank because, okay, he's gonna cash in on Roman, no, and then you're not gonna have him cash in on a face Seth Rollins. So you couldn't do that. I mean, I feel like now would be perfect for him to win Money in the Bank, because then, okay, now you can cash in on Damian. You can cash in on...
Easy, pal. Easy.
I'm just saying, if it would make more sense, because you're not going to do it on Cody.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, okay, so now you do Damian, or you do CM Punk, or you do Drew McIntyre. Like, you do one of those three.
Drew McIntyre is going to have a coronary if somebody else cashes in on him.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Maybe he's a psychopath, right? Well, let's turn him back into an actual psychopath.
I mean, he's pretty much getting there on his own. So.
He's getting there because of CM Punk. But what does CM Punk cost him? Another thing. Like, what is the tipping point for that? With another loss in Clash of the Castle, which I believe is actually now in his hometown.
I think he was in Ayr, Scotland. I don't think it's there, but
it's not. Oh, it's in Scotland. Okay, I thought.
But he's from Ayr, Scotland. But the show's not in Ayr. That's his hometown. So.
Oh, okay, but it's in Scotland this time, though, right?
I believe so.
So, like, so basically now it's really in his home country, I should say. Before it was his area, but this is his home country now, right?
Look, if CM Punk does anything else, or somebody else cashes in on Drew McIntyre, it's going to be the first 48 on the next episode. That's what's going to happen.
Hey, that's what Raw needs right now. Raw doesn't have a Solo and a Bloodline where they're the absolute heels. Raw doesn't have that, because even Damian, like, he gets booed, but he's not the dominant heel yet. I think he's getting there.
I can agree.
Dom is more of a heel than he is.
You know what? I don't see him.
He's being more sympathetic.
I don't see him staying heel very long.
Who?
Damian.
Nah, he can't turn face. He's
not I know, but I know, but I just don't.
I don't like the fact that the one thing I didn't like was him and Jey were having that moment. I don't want that I want Damian to be straight killer. I need Punisher Martinez come out. That's what I need.
Can he do that while he's in the Judgment Day, though?
Yes. But he can't do it with those members. That's why I say he needs more members, but he needs some badass.
I don't think he can do it in the Judgment Day, though. Like, I think he can do his own thing.
No, he needs people.
I don't know.
He's not.
No, I don't mean to do it by himself. I agree with you.
Oh.
But
he needs a group, and I think Judgment Day is the right group. But the problem is the members have been treated as like I'm not gonna say a joke, but they're not as
It's not the
dominant
same.
as what they
Not the
were.
same. The reason why I say I do think he's good as a heel, but I think you can kind of see his personality a little bit trying to come through. He's like a really cool dude, and I think that's hard to be like. He's really cool, because even what you said, that interaction with him and Jey, it's like he goes back and forth almost. It's kind of like when he's angry, like when it's weird. Like after the match with him and Jey at Backlash, right? When he like grabbed Finn's face, like he's a very large man, so he's very physically intimidating. And when he gets mad, it's serious.
But we need that always,
right?
I don't need no two-way person where. Oh, I don't need a bipolar guy. I need Punisher Martinez.
Punishment Martinez.
Whatever. I call him Punisher. He had the whole Punisher outfit on with the skull. He had all that. I need that to come out. Get rid of that sympathetic shit, that nice guy, that cool guy. No,
I don't think he has.
I need the badass.
I
need that badass mother Canucker that will fuck you up. That's what
I don't think he's sympathetic. I think what's coming out is he's a cool guy. Like he's talking, and he likes to party. He likes to do all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
You could be that, but I need you to be the guy that was the badass that the chicks love, the bad guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Not the cool guy that I want to hang out with. No, I'm not
saying that you gotta hang out with him. I think that's what you said. Like that's perfect. Like he's the bad guy, and he can flip that switch. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying kiss babies. That's not him. He's not.
No, I need that.
He's not a kiss babies thing. He has that cool. I
know what you're saying, but I want it to be. You said how there's a switch. I need that switch to be broken after it's been turned on the punishment one version of him. I need you to break the switch where it's to the point where you can't flip it back.
So you just want him to be punishment, like you don't.
I want him straight punishment. I want him to take his anger out on everybody and be like, "No, you're not gonna fuck up. You're gonna finish Braun Strowman, JD." And if you don't, I'm gonna kill you. Now what you gonna do?
I have a lot of psychopaths kind of running around. So
we only got 2.
I mean, we have Drew, and then we have 2,000 Samoans running around on SmackDown.
They're not psychopaths. That's just their natural feeling. That's just what our family is. It's different.
Well, from a non-Samoan, that could be seen as.
That's racist. That's all.
It's not.
Don't judge us on the way we are.
No, it is not.
Anyway, I just know that I need to see Punishment Martinez come out, and I need him to stay here. I need Dijak to join Judgment Day. Give me someone else. You said Ivar.
I was just
I don't even care who it is, to be honest with you. And please don't give me Braun Strowman versus Damian Priest. I do not want that. Other than that, I am cool with everything. I'm upset with you, Trips, but it's okay. I forgive you. Still love you.
Meanwhile, some of us are being patient and not.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
Yes, you do.
I don't have time.
New era. We're not serving microwave instant gratification. New era.
It's okay. I trust Trips, even when he makes terrible decisions. I still trust him, so it's okay. But we got a lot to look forward to. We got the King of the Ring tournament that already has been underway. We've had some great matches. Shout out to Ricochet and ILja, because I'm gonna keep mentioning that was such a great match. We had Sheamus and Gunther, excellent match as well. We got some great matches, as you mentioned, on SmackDown coming up. So I can't wait for the King of Ring tournament. I know we only really focus on the men's side, but the women's side too, I'm sure that's going to be great. I'm going probably for Lyra right now. I think that's probably my pick so far, but we'll see.
I can see the women's SmackDown bracket.
Yeah, we got to see that. I mean, I forgot Tiffany. If Tiffany's a part of that, then Tiffany's probably going to win it.
Yeah, because I think if Gunther's going to win it from Raw, then I would think a girl from SmackDown has to win.
Girl from SmackDown. So it's probably going to be Tiffy.
Maybe.
That would probably make the most sense. But we'll see when the bracket officially drops or whenever. Maybe it did already. But either way, it's going to be some great matches coming up. So I'm excited for that. Let me just see what else. Just real quick, what else is coming up? I know we got AEW Double or Nothing coming up. I'm not sure the exact date of that, but I know that's coming up soon. I know they just announced a big match for Anarchy in the Arena, the New Elite versus FTR, Bryan Danielson, and Eddie Kingston. So that's going to be pretty crazy. Sasha Banks' first match in AEW as well is going down that night. So that's a good match to look up to. I can't think of anything else coming up. But yeah, a lot of good wrestling going on. We're just lucky to witness it and experience it. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you to Shawn Michaels. Oh, by the way, did you see? Oh, yeah, of course you did. I sent it to you. And I think you posted about it. But Shawn Michaels inviting Drake and Kendrick, so we might get that in the ring soon. But yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot to look forward to.
I don't know if anybody saw. I didn't have Sexy Red commenting on NXT on my bingo card this year, but it's totally happened. It's a thing.
Wait, what?
How did you miss that?
I don't pay attention to Sexy Red. I don't care about Sexy Red. I don't even care about this because she was on the song with Drake. That's it.
So she tweeted. Apparently, she was watching NXT, or she watches, and she was like, what did she just see on Supernova Sessions? And she said, Metaphor better be careful because Trick Williams is going to come for them. And then they posted her tweet on NXT.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, so Sexy Red going to join NXT? Okay.
I don't know. Look, when I saw that, I was like, look, Shawn Michaels, I know you out there trying to keep up with the kids, but I really think that we got to... No offense to Sexy Red, but look, man, we can't get kicked off of TV, all right?
I got you. We can't have too many, we can't have people twerking and stuff like that all the time and stuff. Actually, we can if it's Lola. She can do whatever she wants. Let's just have 2 hours of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy with it. I'm cool.
No.
WWE Lola, like, we can take out NXT. Just name it Lola. I'm good.
I'm
good.
But
yeah, that's. Thank you for bringing up NXT. I forgot. We also got Battlegrounds coming up soon. I'm not sure of the dates, so please forgive me. But we got that coming up, and we got Trick's first title defense coming up. I'm sure that's probably coming next week or so. And Noah and Dar, you brought up the Metaphor Sessions that they had.
yeah.
Trick's got a girl, looks like Trick and Willy. What was it? Trick Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. But yeah, a lot of good things wrestling going on. I probably missed some stuff, but it's okay. Other than that, Sasha, you got any last words for the people before we head out of here?
No. Great episode. Had fun doing it. Yeah.
I got you. All right, well, guys, please remember you can listen to us on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Still mad at YouTube, but anyway. So please listen out. You can send us likes, comments, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. I'm your boy, Just Fino. She is Sasha, the Legit King. This is Ring Champs, episode 28. And we out of here. So, peace. Yeet!
Adios.